Assalamualaikum and hello to all. I'm Iskarina. So today I will present on my final year project with the title The Quality of the Dry Pineapple by Using Vacuum Oven. So for introduction, pineapple, or in the scientific name Ananas commercis, is one out of 4 famous fruit in the world. It is a tropical fruit with appealing sensory feel on its color, flavor that contain balanced ratio of sweetness and acidity. Pineapple is also an special fruit that contains many special nutrients such as manganese and vitamin C. In the world of fruit production, pineapple has ranked at position number 6. This shows that there are a huge number of pineapple has been produced during the harvest season. But pineapple has a short shelf life. Fresh pineapple only can maintain its fresh quality within 1 week. After that, it will start to rotten and oxidize. There are many preservation techniques has been used to increase the shelf life of fruit, such as drying. In general, drying is the process where evaporation is occurred to remove the liquid from a substance. Thus, the moisture content of fruits will decrease when the drying are applied to the fruits. The decrease in the content of moisture will inhibit the growth of spoiled microorganisms such as bacteria, mold, and fungus. Therefore, the shelf life of the fruits can be lengthened. Before drying technology has been exposed, traditional technique which by using sun has been used to dry the fruits. Nevertheless, it is not preferable for industrial use because the process need a long drying period that may have a detrimental effect on the consistency of substance and dust and insect contamination of the finished product. So nowadays, innovative drying technology have been developed. There are a lot of technique available in the drying the food, such as hot air drying, vacuum drying, and also microwave drying. Next, for problem statement, fresh pineapple has high demand in market, but pineapple has a short shelf life. As mentioned before, fresh pineapple only can maintain its fresh quality within 1 week. After that, it will change in physical and chemical properties such as the appearance, color, flavor, texture, and also microbial. After some time, it can't be consumed anymore and become food waste. Other than that, due to the short life, it also be a problem to the harvesters. It is quite challenging for the harvesters to sell all the pineapple in a short time, and at the end, the pineapple that did not sell within the time has rotten, will be thrown away and also become a food waste. The second problem statement is ineffective drying method. Recently, the use of drying technique to preserve food has been introduced to the worldwide. A hot air drying oven is the most common technique applied in the food production. Hot air drying oven is a technique that removes the liquid by using heat that has been supplied by the coil, mainly by convection. However, hot air drying process take a long time and the moisture content also cannot be reduced to the value required. Therefore, it will produce a non-crisp product. It is also proved by experiment that conducted by Nazmi in 2018. Nazmi had conducted an experiment that to dry the pineapple by using hot air drying oven and microwave oven. As we can see here, the results show that the hot air oven take too long time to finish the process compared to the microwave. There are various studies had proved that the drying can increase the shelf life of the pineapple. Nevertheless, the presence of heat in drying process had affect the quality of the pineapple, such as the color, texture, and taste. However, research on the optimal condition to dry the fruits such as pineapple still remain inadequate. The optimal condition to dry the pineapple is very important to observe, since the preservation of the consistency of dry fruits product is a major concern and a priority for the production and manufacturing of dry product fail to produce a high quality product. Consume the dry pineapple as a snack is uncommercial in Malaysia food market. The uncommercial dry pineapple in a food market in Malaysia might be due to the low quality of dry pineapple produce. Uh, the quality of the dry pineapple does not have improvement because there is a lack of research on the quality of the dry pineapple. Thus, to commercialize the dry pineapple in the food production, future research need to be conducted. So basically, there are three objectives of this experiment. The first one is to determine the optimum process condition of dry pineapple using vacuum drying oven, to analyze the dry pineapple characteristic based on the moisture content, color, texture, and sensory analysis. And the last one is to compare the quality of the dry pineapple using vacuum drying oven and hot air drying oven. This research has been conducted in two modes of research, which were by doing an experiment and also a critical analysis. A few characteristics has been observed in the experiment, such as the moisture content of the fresh pineapple, the thickness of the sample, and the shape of the sample. For critical analysis, it has been applied in this research to observe the moisture content, the color, texture, and sensory analysis of the vacuum dried pineapple. So this is the sample preparation for the experiment that has conducted in the lab. In this experiment, Morris pineapple has been used. To measure the percentage of moisture and solid of the fresh pineapple, the sample has been dried by using convection oven at 120 Celsius. The weight of the sample has been measured for every 15 minutes until the sample completely dry. This graph has been plotted based on the data collected, and it shows that the mass of the sample approximately same from 60 minutes to 285 minutes. This shows that the moisture was totally evaporated. By using the formula shown, the moisture content has been calculated, and it shows that the fresh pineapple contains 82.94% of water and 70.0% of solid. Next, this is the procedure and condition for the vacuum drying method. The process conducted on temperature 100, 110 and 120 degrees Celsius with duration from 140 seconds to 180 seconds. First sample has been run at temperature 100 for 180 minutes with thickness 3 mm. The results show that all the sample is not completely dry. Therefore, the sample need to be increased. Thus, it will be shorten the time. This is because the moisture tend to evaporate quickly at the high temperature. Then, for the next sample, had dry at condition where temperature is 110 Celsius with time 140 minutes. For the result, the sample is completely dry. However, the product stick to the tray and too brittle. The sample is easy to break when I try to remove the sample from the tray. This might be happen due to the thickness of the sample that is too thin. Then the experiment has continued by operate the drying process at the same condition as previous but with different thickness which are 5 mm. The results show almost same with the previous thickness. The sample completely dry and it's brittle and easy to break. However, it shows different in the color of the dry pineapple. The color of the sample with thickness 3 mm shows slightly dark brown, while the color for the thickness 5 mm is a pale yellow. The sample cannot be observed the color by using the colorimeter because both sample had broke when I tried to transfer out from the tray. Other than that, to observe the suitable thickness, this experiment also used different shape of the pineapple to observe the effect of shape to the structure of the dry pineapple. There are three different shapes has been used which are round shape with a core, quarter section of pineapple with core, quarter section of pineapple without core. The results show that the shape with the core not suitable to be used in this experiment because the core of the pineapple become hard after drying. This might be due to the different nutrient value for flesh and core, for example, the value of fiber. While for different thickness, it shows that thickness 3 to 5 completely dry, 6 to 7 partially dry, and 8 to 10 not dry. In this section, the color and the brittle of the sample is observed by the sensory analysis. For color, the thickness 3 to 4 produce sample in brown color, 5 mm brown and light yellow, 6 light yellow, and 8 to 10 mm yellow. The brittle rate by using 3 parameters, which are height means easy to break, medium not easy to break, while not brittle for the sample not brittle due to the condition that still wet. Based on all the conditions, I believe that the sample the thickness 7 mm is suitable to be applied in this drying process. However, none research have been investigate the effect of thickness on the quality of the dry pineapples by using vacuum drying oven. Next, we can see here, this is the drying curve of the pineapple and apple by using different temperature. The plot graph for both experiments is show that when the temperature increase, the drying time will be decreased and the rate of moisture reduction increase. Moreover, graph plotted by Junlankan also show that the vacuum drying oven is the preferable method to dry the pineapple since the vacuum drying take the shortest time to remove the moisture compared to the conventional drying. This is because the vacuum environment allows the rapid evaporation of the moisture on the pineapple in a short time. It is in line with the research that has been done by Orikasa in 2014 in observe the impact of hot air and vacuum drying on the quality attribute to the kiwi fruit slice. Fatima also had found out that the quality of food dry under the vacuum is higher than when the other methods because of the lack of oxygen in the dry environment. Next, for color analysis, the previous paper showed that the color analysis has been done by using colorimeter. The lightness will come out with the different result compared to the yellowness and the redness. The lightness will increase when the dry temperature is decreased. Meanwhile, the redness and yellowness will increase when the dry temperature is increased. This situation occurs due to the browning reaction that forms when the heat is applied to the pineapple. It can be concluded that the browning reaction is increased when the temperature is increased. Next, for the texture analysis, there are two characteristics has been observed, which are the hardness and the crispness of the dry sample. The hardness has been measured by the maximum force and the crispness by the number of peaks. Most all of the researchers has agreed that the hardness is decreased when the temperature is decreased. This occurs due to the long period of time that caused the dense structure in the product, which means the less pore. Meanwhile, Philip in his study stated that the lychee tend to become harder when the temperature is increased is due to the increased number of pectin. This fact cannot be applied on the pineapple because pineapple has no or too small number of pectin. For the crispness is increased at a high temperature. This has been proved by the experiment that has been conducted by Tompa Kanish that measured the quality of the dry banana by using vacuum drying oven, and also by Junlankan that have conducted experiment to measure the quality of the dry pineapple that has been dried by using vacuum drying oven. Then, at the high temperature, internal vapor pressure increase and force food structure to expand. So, the sample tend to have large and more pores at the high temperature. Therefore, the porous structure at the sample lead to increase the crispness. Next, for sensory analysis, four characteristics observed. The data show that the highest temperature resulting in the greater sensory acceptance. This is also in line with the study that has been done by Jade in a study on improving the quality of dry fruits, a comparison between two conductive multi-flash and traditional drying methods. The data show that the sample dry at 120 degrees Celsius has the highest score for all the criteria except for the color. This is because the color of the dry sample tend to be different from the fresh pineapple due to the browning reaction occur. In conclusion, after considering all the characteristics that has been discussed, the optimum condition to perform drying process of vacuum drying oven is at temperature 120 degrees Celsius with a shorter drying time, crispier texture and has higher score in a sensory evaluation. Second, increasing the temperature will decrease the drying time, while the lower temperature produces a good color retention product. An increasing temperature also increases the hardness and the crispness of the pineapple. The last one is the quality of the dry pineapple using vacuum drying oven is higher compared to the conventional drying oven. That's all from me. Thank you.